getting those crispy fall evenings, and I thought, wow, I think I'll make some beef stew. And I'm gonna let you join me. I've got about 3 pounds of good stew meat here. You can buy the stew meat at the store. I got a good deal. This was on sale, beautiful. Or you can just get your chuck roast and chop it up. And I want you to see I've got this in just good sized pieces, not huge and not too small. And this is the first step. I've already got my grease hot. I've got other ingredients, and we'll go over that a little bit. I did go ahead and saute off. I caramelized my onions, and I've got my, for time's sake, I've got my celery and onions done. All right. So, of course, as usual, you don't always have the ingredient list down below. So, we're going to get started. I got my pan hot. This is what I sauteed my, I caramelized my onions and sauteed my celery in there. Our spices are going to be rosemary, thyme, a couple of bay leaves, and some black pepper, okay? Salt later on. Might not need much salt. And then, of course, I'll have peas and carrots and potatoes to add in later. And so anyway, here we're the first step is what we're going to do is this is just plain regular old flour, and I'm going to take a few pieces. You know, you can do this in a Ziploc bag. I'm just thinking I'm doing it where you can see it better what I'm doing here. I've already got my grease hot. Press start again, and I'm going to get the excess off here. This will help thicken up the stew later. And whoops, I did not mean to do that. And also you want to brown your meat. When you sear it off and brown it, it just really adds to the flavor. I'm trying to not get a lot of excess flour in there. You're going to get some, and that's all right. But and in here, you know, as usual, you know, I've got about, oh, I don't know, about 2.5, 3 tablespoons of oil, okay? And I'm going to keep doing this as I go along. Just kind of toss it in there. This is not seasoned. You can go ahead and season if you want to, but you don't want to add salt too early to a dish like this because you don't want to toughen your meat, okay? And we're going to just brown this. Add some more in here. Then you're going to repeat this process until, sorry about all this banging here, I don't want to get that excess flour in my pan. And I'm going to fill this pan. I don't want to overcrowd it, but I want to get these done and get them browned off. And I'll come back when I've got all this meat browned up. Well, actually, no, I'm going to stay with you for a minute. I want you to see what I'm talking about. You're going to turn this right here. Let me get that flour off this. You're going to turn this. See, it's already starting to brown really well. We're going to do this to all the sides. You want to be sure that you're going to turn it all around and get it browning, okay? So give me just a second, and I'm going to come back and I'm going to flour up some more and add it to the pan, okay? We'll be right back. Okay, I wanted to show you that I've added some more to the pan, and I'm getting a nice browning on here. I'm just going to flip them all over. Kind of got sidetracked. I don't want to really leave it in that long, but remember, you're not trying to cook the meat. You are just searing it and sealing in the juices of the meat as it cooks for the stew, okay? And I wanted to mention, you know, I'm doing this in a bowl. I'm dredging my meat in the flour in a bowl, but you know, I do it just as easy in a Ziploc bag. I'm just doing this way. I figure you can see it better. All right, everybody. Sorry, I forgot to turn the phone off again. I guess I will eventually remember to do that. So anyway, I'm just turning these around, just making sure they're covered on all sides. And I've gotten, see, I just try to turn them over. See, as I'm doing this, and I'm just browning them off, like I said before the phone call came, and I apologize again for that. We're not trying to cook this meat. And what I was telling you about, if I got sidetracked, I'm sorry. I do this in a bag just as easily. So, but I'm doing this, like I said, I figure you could see it better if I did it this way. So what I want to do is, you get the idea, you're not going to cook them for long. In fact, I'm about to take these up right now and then add this batch in. And when I get all this meat done, then we'll come back and switch pans. And I'm going to deglaze the bottom of this pan with a little beef broth before I move everything to the other pan. See? But it's too messy to do on camera. So let me finish this off and then I'll switch around and we'll come back, okay? Thanks. We'll be back. Okay. This is my last little batch. And you probably can't see this very well. You will in a minute. But this is, I've been putting it in my big stew pot. You got to remember, I'm doing 3 pounds. I'm going to start out with a quart of beef stock. I know I'm probably going to have more. And I wanted to mention to you, I had to do several batches. I have had to add a tablespoon here and there extra of oil. So I just wanted you to know that. I mean, I started out with about 2.5, but I have had to add a little bit here and there, you know. And I think these are getting about where I want to get them. But I wanted to show you. Let me take these up and add them to the pan. You can add some red wine if you want to, about a cup of red wine to deglaze your pan, if I can speak today. But I'm just going to use beef broth. I don't have any red wine at the moment. And gosh, if I open it up, I would be obliged to have to, like, drink it. My husband isn't home at the moment, so that probably wouldn't be very fun just by myself. That's for another time. Alright, we got some good stuff down here in this pan. Here, I missed one. You gotta go in there with your buddies. Alright, I'm gonna take some of this up that I can get up right here. But I'm actually gonna scrape off my little tongs here and get them back in the pan. Let's see what I got. Because that's all flavor right there. That's been enhanced with beef flavor. Flavor from the pan. Alright, that's good enough. So what I'm going to do here, and I want to tell you, I've got my heat on like medium high. I've gone in between about 375 and 400, a little bit back and forth. And I'm just going to, oh, I added maybe a, see, I can feel it, it's coming right up. And this had a little bit of everything in it. I did my onions, I did my celery in here. Then of course you saw me doing the beef. And now you see I'm deglazing the pan. It's coming right up. As soon as I know that this is smooth and I've gotten everything up and I'm not wasting anything. Alright, as you can see that, poof, deglazed. That's all flavor going to go in this beef stew. It's going to be all good. Alright, I'm going to switch this over, move the pan over, and then we'll come back and I'll go to the next step with my Worcestershire sauce. I'm going to add a little of that, and here's my spiced up. I already told you what I'm going to put in there. We'll go over it again. And then of course I got the celery and onions. Alright, and then I'll be, while this is simmering for a couple hours, I'm going to be working on the potatoes and stuff. Alright, let me switch around. We'll be right back. Okay, I switched around, and I want you to see this is where I added the broth I had from deglazing the pan. Now I've got the other 3 cups, so I'm just going to go ahead and add all that good in, okay? And like I said, I'm making 3 pounds worth. I'm probably going to add more, alright? Also, I'm reserving my flour in case I want to use it for thickener in a bit, okay? The utensil I need. I'll go ahead and add my beautiful celery and onions. Caramelized onions, can't beat that. I've got a video for that. I'll probably add it below. If you've never done it, you need to do it. It really brings all the flavor you want out. It's fantastic. Give that a nice stir. Yum yum. Now you notice I hadn't added salt. I'm going to add salt later, but with my broth and seasonings and everything, I'm not going to add that till the end. I don't want to toughen up my meat. I want it to be nice and tender, okay? Here's my spiced up. Again, I've got the thyme, rosemary, black pepper, a couple of bay leaves, alright? I'm going to dump that in. I'm adding some, maybe about 3 tablespoons worth of Worcestershire sauce, okay? Give all that a stir. Now I'll have some, I'm going to use frozen peas and carrots this time because, well, I always use frozen peas in my stew, but I didn't have any carrots. I thought I did, but I didn't. Okay, so what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to put the lid on this. It's going to be cut down on low. And it's going to cook for, about 2.5 hours. And when we're back to that point, I'll come back. We'll be adding the peas and the carrots and the potatoes. And that's classic beef stew, but hey, I've been known to throw in some green beans and some corn. It's beef stew still, but you know, we love all the vegetables anyway, so I may and I may not. So come back. When I come back, this will be ready for the vegetables, okay? And I'll probably, over the period of time, like I said, I will add more broth. And as always, you can cut this recipe in half. We like leftovers, and I like to beef stew freeze as well. And it's great to have in the freezer ready to go. Okay, we'll be back. Okay, it's been about an hour and a half. This looks great. It's come along fantastically. And I'm about to add the potatoes in. I did add more broth, like as I said I would. That's a beautiful color. The meat is coming along beautifully, as you can see. I still have my flour in reserve to thicken that up after I get everything in if I need to. Okay, so I'm going to carefully just add these in. I've drained them already. Alright. Just throw those in. Look at that. Definitely want to have some to freeze. Making a double batch always does the trick. Alright, I'm going to let these cook. Oh, I don't know. I'm going to be checking on them in the neighborhood of about 30 minutes. And then I'll come back when I add the peas and carrots, and I'll decide if I'm going to add corn and green beans. We'll see. Okay, we'll be back. Okay, it's been about, 20 minutes or so. I've been checking it, and it's really looking nice. Look at that. It's looking great. It's not too thick at the moment, and it's just right. So what I'm going to do next is we're adding the peas and carrots. And like I said, these I'm just using frozen. You can use fresh if you want to. This is what I had. Thought I had some fresh carrots and just frozen peas, but voila, I guess I didn't. I made some vegetable beef soup last week and I forgot to restock that. It's okay. Alright, we're going to give this, I don't know, 10-15 minutes. Soup's really hot. That probably brought that temperature down just a little bit. But I've still got it on a low simmer. I'm going to put that lid back on. And then we'll be back with the finished product. Okay? Let's see you then. Okay, I gave it in between, I don't know, 10 and 15 minutes. Kind of in the middle there. Let's see what we've got. Oh, yeah. Now, you don't have to add as much broth as I did. I like mine on the loose side when I first make it. And there's a reason for that. And that reason is, as it stands, it thickens. I did use most of my flour. I made a little slurry and added that in. But it will thicken more on its own. Okay? So, it seems a little loose. That's okay. This is perfect. Let me dish you up some. I'll show you how it's done. Get some good eating in here. Let's see. Let me get some. Make sure we get some good meat in there. Now look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Oop, I almost lost my ladle. This would be great with a crusty bread or, just regular bread too, of course. But, this is even good with crackers. So any way you like to eat it, it freezes well. I hope you're going to try this. And if you do, I think you're going to like it. And I want to make an addition. This was the classic beef stew recipe, okay? My family loves corn. My family loves green beans. You could, I guess if you wanted to, you could cut up a turnip or two and put it in there. That'd be good. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to stop here. And I may go ahead and add that for my family later. But since this was a classic beef stew recipe, we're going to stick with this. So again, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you're going to try it. And I hope you're going to like it. I think you'll love it. If you don't like peas and carrots, find something you do like. The classic one always seems to have peas and carrots in it. I normally would add a lot more carrots than that. And they wouldn't be frozen. But I didn't have any. So I'm working with what I have. And the flavor is out of this world. I think you're going to like it. So I'll see you next time. Got a whole bunch of good stuff coming up. All right. I'm going to try to throw in something for Thanksgiving, thing or two. It's just been so hectic and busy. And I apologize, and I'm not putting more videos up. I am working on them any second I get a minute to. Okay. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. I just wanted to add that I did end up putting in about 1.5 teaspoons of salt. And I also hope you are enjoying this. And you gotta try it. It is so good. And P.S. we did end up putting in the green beans and corn. Enjoy.